I was still writing baseball when I entered the magazine business as a full-time as an editor, and I continued to write about baseball, mostly for Sports Illustrated in the last half of the 1980s. And then I stopped writing about baseball because I had taken something that I loved and turned it into a job. I had taken an avocation and made it a vocation, and I could no longer love it because I had to be authoritative. I had to be professional. My relationship with it had changed utterly, you know, and I knew that that guy at second base, he's a racist, and that guy in right field, he beats his wife, and you know, just I didn't want to know these things. I wanted to be able to love baseball again, and the only way I could do that was to stop writing about baseball. When I emerged from my magazine career near the end of the 1990s, as I was emerging from my magazine career, and I could write about whatever I chose to write about, I remembered the words of that older colleague who had told me, find something you love and really know well to write about. And the rest of that, what he had said was, that will establish you as a writer. And then once you're established as a writer, you can write about whatever you want to write about. And in fact, that's what happened to me. I hadn't realized that was the course, but I had enough of a reputation and a track record and a file of clips as a writer so that when I chose to write about other things, yeah, this guy can write, he knows how to report, he knows how to think, so on and so forth. And I found myself, my first book coming out of my magazine editing career was a Great Fortune, The Epic of Rockefeller Center, which remains to this day my favorite of my books. It had everything. It had architecture and money and urban policy and depression and war and interesting personalities and art. And it was a blast reporting it, and I loved the writing of it, and I'm really very, very proud of it. But then now I was established I could write history. And I don't want to put footnotes on the page, but I put them in the back as endnotes, and I can, you know, do serious history. So when I came out of the Times, I did finally get around to writing that Prohibition book, which I will unhumbly boast and say it's the definitive history of Prohibition. I think that would be acknowledged by most people in the history profession, and in fact it won the Best Book of the Year prize, a Best Book of American History from the American Historical Association. I am proud to say the first writer without an advanced degree ever to win that prize. Then the next book, this most recent one about immigration and eugenics, The Guarded Gate. Again, I'm a historian now. I'm a historian who can, at my best, I can write history that is both historically sound, historiographically sound, and engaging to read, at my best. At my worst, not so great. But I actually was at a meeting the other day where each of us was asked, what do you do? And I used to say I'm a writer, and this time I said I'm a historian without a degree, and I'm very proud of that.